Hello everyone, Ugodre here, and this is my money brief. Yeah, so on today's money brief, I want to talk about something that is giving me headache, and I'm sure it's giving a lot of you headache as well. So we got into Independence Day week. Anyway, by the way, happy Independence Day, everybody. So we came out of Independence Day, and boom, the exchange rates on the parallel market fell to 1,700 naira to the dollar, and that got everybody wondering what exactly is going on. I mean, I thought some of the reforms that we're taking seems to be in like the good direction, right? They said no more fuel subsidy. They've taken that out, so that means we have a market-friendly environment. Dangote refinery is now producing, so maybe we're not going to be importing that much petroleum products anymore. The exchange rate is no more controlled by the government, so free market. So how come markets is now determining the price, yet we're still seeing the exchange rate depreciate this much? And then even if you look at the data, external reserves is robust. According to the central bank governor, it's closer to $40 billion. I mean, even if the official data says about 38.3 or so $billion, which is still solid numbers. We haven't been anywhere close to that in a long time. And then if you look at our capital importation numbers, I mean, yeah, last time we saw this data was Q1 data. It was solidly above $3 billion a quarter, which was the highest we've also seen in years. And going by what we've heard from the central bank as well, there's been some inflow coming in in the second quarter and the third quarter, which we just finished as well this year. International money transfer organizations, IMTOs, are also inflowing money into the country because of some of the favorable policies of the government. Yet, the exchange rate hit 1.7, the parallel market, and even 1.7 in the official market, at least the intraday high, while it closed at 168 or so. I mean, we've seen it go between 1.5 and 1.6 and all that stuff, but got to 168 on Wednesday. So we're seeing the exchange rate depreciate despite some of the solid and brave reforms that we're seeing, on the monetary policy side of things. So why is it not working? Why? I mean, is the Naira still falling? Let's even add to the fact that the United States has said it's going to cut rates, isn't it? And cutting rates, at least, is net positive for us. So why then are we going through this? I don't think anybody has the answers, so let's even not mess around here. But I think we can, to a large extent, theorize or try to figure out what might be going on here. And even if we're wrong, but at least it should make some kind of logical sense to me, especially. Like, it's got to make some sense. But what tends to come to mind is, at the end of the day, you just goes back to basic economics, basic, things. Basically, just bring it down to the fundamentals. Pricing is always about demand and supply. Whenever there is large supply and lower demand, prices tend to crash. Whenever there is higher demand and lower supply, prices tend to spike or go up. And so, going by that fundamental, what you then see is that anything that we do, whether it's via our habits as Nigerians or policies of the government or whatever foreign investors wish to do, whatever affects us from outside Nigeria, it's all geared towards driving up supply or reducing demand, or driving up demand and reducing supply, whichever one. And however this plays out tends to affect forex prices. And so I believe that we haven't still done enough to see supply numbers go up. I think that's really what this is about. So yes, we're seeing external reserves at $38 billion or even $40 billion, as I say. But I think that there are also other fundamentals that we're not seeing here. So Nigeria still has a lot of debt. I think we're closer to $100 billion in debt. And so if you net that from the external reserves, so net, we're still not in a very good place. The previous years where we had over $40 billion or $40 billion in external reserves, our net debt wasn't this high. But over the last few years, we've seen that spiral, like skyrocket to over $100 billion. So that is one problem that can likely affect supply. Another thing that is also affecting demand this time is also money supply. We still have over 100 trillion naira in money supply. That is the total money that is in the economy. And then a lot of people will tell you, will say, like, how can you say we have this much in money supply yet we don't, Nigerians don't feel the impact. But that's what the data says. Data says we have over 100 trillion in money supply. Some of this is largely due to ways and means, and some of it is also due to depreciation of the naira, which when you convert the foreign component of money supply, then it makes it look as if things are a lot bigger than it should be. But that's also a huge challenge. So we have money supply at over 100 trillion, and that, if you going by what the CBN thinks, fuels demand for forex, and that also impacts exchange rate. So that is on the data side. And then on the data side as well is interest rates. So yes, the central bank has increased interest rate, rightly so. I think I mentioned that my last money brief. It's still lower than inflation rate. Inflation rate is over 33% or so, but interest rates, according to the CBN, is still roughly 27.25% or thereabouts, so which is still lower than inflation rate. So that is also not enough to attract foreign investors as much as we would prefer, or as much as we would like, because it's not robust enough. It's not really solid. So the delta is not that. It's still a lot, rather. Delta is too much. So that is not enough to sort of drive the sort of inflow we're looking for. And so that's a problem, which is why the CBN is hawkish. And then let's also remember that we just removed fuel subsidy completely, and fuel prices have also gone to almost 1,000 naira, and some people are saying it's like going to hit 1,200 naira. And so that would also contribute to inflation. And if that contributes to inflation, that also has an impact on the exchange rate because of something economists call inflation differential. And so as inflation is dropping in the US and rising in Nigeria, that difference, someone has to pay for it. And it's looking like that is also going to be reflecting on the exchange rate numbers. So it's not that good, right? Even though the decision to remove fuel subsidy might have been in the right direction because of the need to be fiscally disciplined, but that has an impact. And so we also now go to regular things. A lot of Nigerians are still need forex, regardless of whether there's money supply or not. You have a lot of Nigerians who are abroad now. Most middle class, upper middle class people have one family member abroad. At least, off my head, maybe 80% have one family member abroad who needs dollars. And so you see that children going for school fees, going to school and they need school fees and they need pocket money. People still make that money here in Nigeria and take it abroad. So you still have a lot of Nigerians who have foreign currency expenditure to meet, and that is also contributing to demand. And then we also have companies, corporates who need to pay for raw materials and goods and services ahead of the Christmas, and this is when they start to make all those orders. So that is also going to pile pressure on the exchange rate. So these are my own logical reasons. I don't know what yours are. You might share, but I don't think that the exchange rate is going to be strengthened anytime soon, except maybe a miracle happens, like maybe we just see $20 billion coming to the economy. I always said it earlier in the year that I'm always going to bet against the Naira until I see some kind of changes. I haven't seen them yet. And so my bet against the Naira is still on to the end of the year. I doubt that it's going to strengthen. Don't get me wrong, the central bank is doing an amazing job trying to stabilize things, but this is really off their hands, to be honest. There's still a lot that needs to be done, and of course, most importantly, time is probably the biggest thing that we need to have right now. Yeah, so that is my morning brief for today. Drop a comment if you think you agree or disagree with my theories, my logic, and we can have a discussion around that. Do have a great weekend ahead. Bye.